KREM 2 News at Noon begins now.
Another shooting involving a federal agent in Minnesota leads to a night of protests. Now today, President Trump threatening to step in to stop the protesters.
And it's a second straight day of foggy conditions, at least here in Spokane. We'll have the latest on how much longer that is going to last this week.
And the National RV Show kicking off today. We'll take a look at what it has to offer for everyone this year. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on KREM 2 News at Noon. I'm Laura Papetti. Let's get right to the outside with Thomas Patrick. He is talking about weather and talking about fog. Certainly played a role in this morning's commute. Thomas?
Yeah, I think everybody I talked to said, wow, it was way worse this morning compared to even yesterday. And guess what? It's still foggy here. Still got about a quarter-mile visibility from our South Hill studios. Basically, if you look beyond our green screen, we've got the car wash and the Maverick behind us. I think I can, if I look back, I can see the car wash, but I can't see the Maverick. So that's only about a quarter-mile visibility. And actually, these dense fog advisories did get extended now till tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Plus, Pullman and the Palouse got added to the advisory after it was looking like it was going to be clear at first. And then we had a sudden onset of foggy conditions between about 7 and 8 a.m. this morning in Pullman. And now that has to be included. In fact, there are your visibility reports. Quarter mile, 1/8 of a mile. That's like 2 football fields. 660 feet is 1/8 of a mile. So very low visibility throughout eastern Washington. No sign of this breaking up either. I think like yesterday, we're stuck. We are stuck with the fog coverage for today. And actually because of that nowcasting or forecasting, that's why we have to extend this into tomorrow morning. Still the same weather conditions, still the same fog layer that is soaking us in. And I think like about 24 hours ago, it can only get worse into the nighttime. So that's why we've extended our weather impact alert day now into Friday morning as well, effectively to match those dense fog advisories because it's going to be foggy for now a third straight day by tomorrow.
All right, Thomas, thank you. Right now, Grant County detectives are looking for a shooting suspect. A 39-year-old man barricaded himself inside a home in Grant County this morning after shooting another man who entered his property. This was near Drumheller Road Northwest and Road A5 Northwest. Police surrounded the suspect's home and negotiators tried to convince him to come outside. Hours later, a tactical team entered and searched the area, but could not find the shooter. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says the man who was shot went to the hospital, but we don't know his condition as of right now. So if you have any information about this, they ask you to call the number. We put that at the bottom of your screen. Happening today, Washington lawmakers are talking about bills that would bar all law enforcement from wearing face coverings and also talking about creating stricter requirements for sheriffs and law enforcement leaders. Senate Bill 5974 requires background checks to be approved by the state commission as well as WSP. If top law enforcement fails to follow the certification rules, they could be removed. So that's one. The Spokane County Sheriff is set to give his testimony on the bill later on. Meantime, Senate Bill 5855 restricts all law enforcement from wearing face coverings or masks when interacting with the public. The bill is a direct response to immigration enforcement, where ICE agents often wear masks and other face coverings to hide their identities. Developing today, President Trump is threatening to use the Insurrection Act to send troops into Minneapolis. The president posted a warning on social media as protests against ICE continue. It's only been 1 week since an ICE officer shot and killed Renee Good, and yesterday, an ICE officer shot and injured another man in Minneapolis. Here's what we know. The Department of Homeland Security says the man in this most recent shooting is from Venezuela, and they have told us he is here illegally. They say the man, quote, violently assaulted the officer. DHS says he drove off during a traffic stop, then crashed and continued running away. When officers caught up to the man, he allegedly resisted arrest. During all of this, DHS says 2 other people attacked the officer with a snow shovel and a broom. That's when the federal agent fired his gun and hit the man in the leg.
We cannot counter Donald Trump's chaos with our own brand of chaos. For those that have peacefully protested, I applaud you. For those that are taking the bait, you are not helping.
And as you just heard there, the Minneapolis mayor is asking people in Minnesota to keep the protests peaceful. The city's police chief had to ask people to go home last night because things were getting intense between protesters and federal agents. And before last night's shooting, Washington Congressman Michael Baumgartner held a virtual town hall. KREM 2's Mark Hanrahan asked him about the fatal shooting of Renee Good by an ICE officer and whether he thinks it should be investigated or probed in the congressional hearing.
So it should be investigated. Obviously, it's a tragedy when anybody gets killed. But, from what I've seen, it looks like a justified shooting in me in defense of the law enforcement officer. But again, I do want to see it investigated and get those facts out. And responsible public officials should do better than they've done, particularly in our state, just to respond to a politically charged environment.
So if you'd like to watch the full interview, we have it streaming on KREM 2 Plus. KREM 2 Plus, download on your TV and watch for free. The Department of Education says they are investigating schools across the country for allegedly violating Title IX. They are investigating a total of 18 school districts, and 4 of them are here in Washington. One of them is the Cheney Public School District. The others are Sultan School District, Tacoma Public School, and Vancouver Public Schools. The Department of Education says the school district's policies allow students to play sports based on gender identity rather than biological sex.